Join me, I'm on my way to Windhoek. Hello Africa, tell me how you're doing. Hope you're doing brilliant. By the end of this video, you're going to have access to a brilliant solution, brilliant service. I'm going to show you the #1 clocking solution for your business. But most importantly, the people behind this incredible solution. The #1 clocking masters, Binary City.
Hi there.
Hey, what's up, my guy?
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you, man. Well, we made it. Binary City HQ, right here in Windhoek. Come, let's go inside, meet some of the team and some of our leaders. Later, we're gonna go check out our media partners, Cosmos radio station and Future Media. We're also gonna hit the streets of Windhoek. Man, the people of Windhoek are absolutely amazing. That is the truth. Also going to be donating blood for the first time at our Binary City Blood Donation Day. Then we head back to catch up with the Joburg team and meet with some of our hardware partners at the Securex 2024 event. Best Securex ever. So it's going to be brilliant. Stay tuned. So in the halls of Binary City, I met up with Gideon from our HR department, one of the friendliest people you would ever meet. I also know he wears many hats at Binary City, including being my personal counselor. That's true. Okay. Come on, Gideon, tell us more.
Yeah, the counseling comes with the HR, but HR is the official role, but I also help out with our ISMS program. So although I'm not part of the technical part of making sure that the company is safe and secure, technically is probably the wrong way to say it, but I run the programs for the ISMS. So I make sure that staff know that through regular training, what is safe to do and what is not safe to do. And through that, we make sure that we protect our company, our clients, our data. So yeah, and also make sure that the company is safe. It also leads into health and safety. And then through that, I also help out on the maintenance side of the company, making sure that we've got a healthy, safe and friendly environment. And yeah, I also sit on the social club. I always make sure I'm part of everything.
I look around and I see awesome people doing extraordinary things. How does Binary City attract such talented people?
Well, that's a very good question. The thing is, for any role that we want to hire for within the company, first of all, I think like any business, we will see what do we require from the person filling that role. Experience, also then technical background, especially because we are an IT company. Education and so forth. So I think most companies do that, but what sets us apart is Binary City is not just a normal company. We're a family. We are a vibe. It's a specific type of vibe that we're looking for. So whenever we do interviews, obviously we do the checks. Is the person ticking all the boxes that we need them to do? But we also make sure that the people that we hire fits into our vibe. And that makes Binary City special, I think.
Binary City places a strong emphasis on continuous learning. Gideon, could you share some of the insights that Binary City has launched to keep advancing our team's skills and knowledge?
Well, for example, the ISMS training that we do that for a particular reason so that we are compliant, and we also want to make sure that our staff is aware of dangers out there, and then in turn not just protecting our staff members but also the company. But because we are we have such a skilled environment, we also pride ourselves in sharing skills. That helps with succession planning, that helps with making sure the business functions in times like when we had the COVID situation. Everyone jumped in and made sure that things that needed to be done happened. The whole company came together during that difficult time. And skills sharing and that we know what is happening in each other's departments, that plays a big role. So when we do our training, we always try to first see if we can share the skills internally, and we will only go externally if we really know that we cannot do that.
Let's talk a little bit about Binary City Social Club. It really helps give a sense of community and belonging amongst the team. Could you share your favorite moment or event of Binary City?
Well, the one that will always stick out to me is the very first year-end function I went to, the year that I joined Binary City. I started in the middle of the year, so we hit the ground running when I came into the company. I was in sales that time, and one of the colleagues in sales that's been here before me, her name is Marsha Lee. I hope she doesn't mind me naming her, but she was organizing the year-end function that year. And it was such a beautifully organized event. We went down to Wellfish Bay, the whole company, because we had a small office there. And she arranged such a fun-filled day for us. We went out on a boat cruise, we went into the dunes for activities, and at night, that evening, we had a huge braai, and it played games, and it was just something that I wasn't used to coming from other companies, corporate companies that I've worked for. So that was just amazing for me. And I remember thinking, this is where I need to be. I would always say Binary City is the place to be, obviously because I'm part of the team. But really come check us out. We really try to be a little bit different in a good way. So come check us out, come see what we're about. We're a very open and friendly group of people, so come say hello, come join us on our blood donation days, meet the team, and check out our website. We've always got exciting vacancies advertised, so if you want to be part of the team, reach out to me or check out our website, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the hallway soon.
Amazing, thank you so much, Gideon.
Thank you.
Speaking about blood donation days at Binary City, it's my first donation ever, so I was a little scared, but turns out I'm just a big baby. There was absolutely nothing to worry about. The team at NABTS did a great job and made everyone feel really comfortable. Thanks, guys. Come join us. It happens every 2 months at Binary City HQ. Check out our website for more details. Now, if your computer throws a tantrum or your network falls asleep, who are you gonna call? Not the Ghostbusters. This guy, Nee, head of our system admin team. Nee, tell us a little bit more about you and what do you do at Binary City?
What do I do? By heading system admin, I oversee projects. I oversee the infrastructure that hosts BC Time, including all our other applications, applications that we manage and write for clients as well, or host for clients. I am responsible for ensuring the security of this infrastructure as well, as a very major part of that.
So how long have you been a part of Binary City?
It's now just over 7 years.
Wow, that's amazing. There's a massive emphasis on digital security at Binary City. Why is that important in today's world?
So, the most important thing that we have to remember with what we do is we handle data. That is something, and once you start handling data, you have to be very conscious about what you do with this data, because I mean, it's other people's information. You're not directly always the owner of the information that is being handled. So because of that, you want to apply the utmost security to what you do with that data and how you handle it. And for us, it's so important that we can do as much as possible from a system perspective, but it's very important to place focus on the person as well, the person that is actually working with that data, to educate them, to make them more aware of the data they are handling, because if they are aware, you stand a better chance at actually protecting the information that you're dealing with.
Without giving too much trade secrets away, what are some of the key measures taken to ensure that data and our systems are fully secured?
So, from a front end, the first thing for our clients that they make use of is when you access BC Time, you're welcomed by a very, very expensive SSL certificate, and this is from GoDaddy. And we invest a lot in the specific certificate because we want to ensure that the traffic between the end user and our server is encrypted and very, very trustworthy, or it's trusted. And so that's the first part. And then we have a lot of encryption that takes place on the server's end as well. So yeah, we place a lot of focus on encryption of the data. We place a lot of focus on encryption of the traffic between your end user and our server, any communication happening going to our server, the data that sits on our servers, we do a lot of encryption on that. We do a lot of monitoring and managing of traffic that hits our servers as well, how those connections are being handled to make sure we can differentiate between bots and people, ensuring that the application stays very stable and away from attacks. And one of the very important things that we always do is we patch our servers very regularly, and we are always on the lookout for vulnerabilities so we can work hand in hand with the different services that we make use of to ensure that we're up to date.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about me. Now, other than tech, what do talented people like you do as hobbies? Just to help you get away from it all.
I go hiking every Saturday with my dog.
Wow.
So every Saturday morning, that is my start to serenity. So I love nature a lot, walking in nature. Find a lot of peace in that. So that thing is the first thing that comes to mind in my hobbies. A little bit of physical activities, be it other than in the hiking. So maybe a little jog, especially when we're out on the hikes. I take jogs or I do a run for like a kilometer or two or so. And then small exercises at home where I can. And then lastly, I love family. So I love to spend a lot of time with people very close to me. I think family would fall under a hobby for me by now.
Just one last question. For our young people out there who are aspiring to become a superstar system administrator, what advice can you offer them?
Off the top of my head, the first thing that I'd really say, and this is something that I kind of told myself from the very beginning, which was to really focus on what I was learning, as opposed to focusing on passing the subjects that I was learning. That's specifically when I did whatever studying I did. Find one area that you first want to really get to understand. If it's networks, focus on that specifically. Find a specific topic within networks that you want to really master, be it security, be it network configurations, whatever it is, and then really understand it deeply. Don't just understand what you're studying to be able to get that 70% and pass the module, but actually focus on understanding what they're teaching you. That for me is the first part to getting onto the journey, because once you get into the practical real world, having to be able to identify scenarios into what you learned is what will boost your experience, as opposed to sitting and coming into an environment and then you look like you don't know anything but you have a degree in this specific topic. And a lot of the time I've come to learn that it's because people generally study to pass and not study to actually understand. So I'd say definitely that.
Thank you so much for sharing that and spending some time with me.
Thank you very much, Roland.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Not everyone has a cozy blanket or a warm jacket, so our goal is to change that. We love helping people and being part of something greater than ourselves. We partnered once again with the Roundtable Namibia area on their annual Winter Nights campaign collecting winter clothes, blankets, and cash donations.
Cheers!
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yay. Yes, thank you so much. The people of Windhoek were super friendly and incredibly generous. From all of us at Binary City, thank you so much. It feels so special to be a part of a team like this, a group of solution-driven people that holds honor, empathy, and compassion. Just brilliant. Now, let's catch up with this awesome person, and I do mean really awesome. This is Rio, the maestro of hardware and software support at Binary City. Hey Rio, thanks for spending some time with me.
It's a pleasure.
How long have you been a part of Binary City, and give us a little insights on your position?
Okay, so I've been at Binary City for a little close to 10 years now. It's been a very interesting journey. Yeah, so from the first time I walked into the doors of Binary City, I was actually appointed as the support coordinator. And part of what that responsibility is because Binary City at that time was growing in such a space where we had a support team and a dedicated sales team. Now, these two teams gelled very well together, but what was missing then was the link between these two departments and our clients. So my role became kind of like very critical and crucial in the sense that we needed somebody that can kind of like facilitate that engagement, that what happens within Binary City eventually can be translated into communication and client relationship with our clients. So that is practically my role here. So I started as support coordinator, and over time obviously grew into becoming the head of the entire support department, which is now two very unique, very interesting departments that offer, in my view, excellent client support.
We have so many client testimonials on our BC Time clocking solution, but also how brilliantly we support our technology. Rio, what do you think we offer differently that our clients really appreciate?
You see, the first thing you must understand is when you work in client service environments, one of the key things that is fundamental is exactly this terminology that a lot of people don't really grasp, and that is service. Service has to do with a giving of yourself. Think about this imagery where you're sitting in a restaurant and you order a meal. The reason you go there is because you are looking for service. You want somebody to be able to come to the need that you have. I'm looking for a meal, and I'm not just here to eat, but I want to have an exceptional time as well. Now, the problem many a times is everybody out there is looking for a specific type of product that does a specific type of thing. But what we many a times don't realize is that it's one thing to have a good product, but if you have bad service, it doesn't matter how good that product is, the service is going to taint it. So what Binary City does very well is that we prioritize that to the highest level. That we are not just in the business of giving you a system or a solution. Yes, the solution is great, but eventually what you want is after sales service. You want to be able to pick up the phone and speak to somebody that is committed, somebody that cares, and somebody that invests themselves into making sure that your experience with this application is amazing. Eventually what's going to happen is you go home and you're talking about us. But what are you going to talk about? Are you going to talk about the application? Yes, definitely. But much the more, you're going to remember the person that gave you service on that application. Binary City does that very well. And we pride ourselves with that. We have a good team of people here that day in, day out, invest themselves to making sure that when a client leaves our application, they do so with a smile.
That's outstanding, Rio. If other team leaders are watching this right now and they are struggling to improve their support team, what advice can you offer them?
Look, get back to the basics. What you're doing is delivering service. This issue, many a times we chase so much. We want to chase the money. We want to chase sometimes the recognition. But the reality of client service is you spend yourself for the benefit of those you serve. And when clients begin to see that, believe you me, that's when your clientele grows and people really, they see that you care. Somebody said it doesn't matter what you give. People want to know you care. People want to know that your application cares, your system and your solution cares to meet the needs that I have. Because if you think about it, most people have issues that they want to resolve. I have a problem. I need a system that can fix that. And at the same time I need people that can understand and say, look, yes, this is a real problem that you have, but we have a solution for you, and we are committed to working with you through that to make sure that you come out on the other end satisfied. It's exceptional. So this is what people need to do better. We need to come back to the understanding that, look, what we are giving and the service we are delivering and what we do as individuals in business, it's all about making sure that people are happy and they're proud of the service that they get, and tomorrow they can talk about us.
Rio, BC Time is used strongly in Namibia and South Africa, but also in other parts of Africa. I mean, this cannot be an easy task to keep things perfect all the time. What are the support challenges that you and the team face, and how did you overcome them?
That's an interesting word you use, challenges. Now, at Binary City, I feel over time we've come to the realization that the word challenge sometimes frightens people. People hear challenge and they think problem. But what we at Binary City, when we hear the word challenge, we immediately think opportunity. A challenge is not necessarily something that you should look at and say, oh, we are unable to do something, but realize that it's an opportunity for you to excel at something. It's an opportunity for you to invent or produce something that eventually is going to meet a need. So the whole talk about, oh, the challenge that we have, many a times it's literally seeing that, look, Africa is an open market. We have a time and attendance and access control solution that can answer the question that a lot of people in payroll, a lot of people in infrastructure are asking. How do I get better security? How do I manage my employees more effectively? For them, it's a challenge. For Binary City, it's an opportunity. We are looking at that and saying, how do we make our system better to meet that need? And this is the joy. We write our own application, and because you have that flexibility, you're able to hear these requests and adapt and accommodate.
Liz, thanks for spending a moment with me.
Thank you so much for making time.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. If you listen to Namibia's #1 hit radio station, Radio Wave, or the amazing Cosmos radio station, then you probably heard Binary City's commercial over the years. I thought I'd catch up with both teams for a little bit. I first stopped at Future Media, the home of Radio Wave and many other stations in Namibia. I met with Monique and her incredible team. Really inspiring to see all their studios. Wow, she gave us a great tour. They also make use of our clocking solution. That's so cool. Next, we headed off to Cosmos radio station and meet with the team. That was fun. Now let's head back to Binary City HQ. And let's meet up with Marsha Lee, one of the powerhouses behind Binary City's sales team. With the knack of connecting the dots and winning hearts. She's not just selling award-winning clocking solution, she's crafting success stories. You've been a part of Binary City's sales team for over a decade now, and you've been a great contributor to the success of our team. So go on then, tell me, what's your secret? Come on.
I don't think there's a general secret, Rollins, but personally for me, it's personal growth, it's getting to know your clients. You know, we all have things that motivate us in life, and I like consistency. I am not one for change, but with Binary City I could evolve. I was a new mom when I started, like literally a new mom, and today I have 2 kids. So Binary City has seen me rise and fall and rise again. So yeah, it's being yourself, being an open, honest person with the rest of your team, always trying your best, not just to close the deal, but to have the customer's needs, or to take it into account, their needs. So customer satisfaction is one of my personal favorites, you know, and creating long-standing relationships with clients. That I think is my success part. Yeah.
From all the deals you've made, is there any that really stands out for you?
I mean, it could be good, could be bad, but tell me which one stands out for you?
Okay, so more than 10 years ago when I started with Binary City, we still sold Smart Time. So I didn't know about the software. I started, and I think within a week we had a meeting with a potential client. So Rayno took me along with him to this meeting because he would do the presentation, and he would obviously, in my mind, I thought he would then do the presentation and I would be able to see how it's being done. So we get to this office and there's this huge boardroom table. We have the CEO at the end of the table, myself and Rayno, and we introduce ourselves. So Rayno is like, okay, this is Marsha Lee, one of our sales people at Binary City, and she's going to do the presentation for us.
Oh no.
And I had no idea what I was doing. I apologized in advance because it might be a flop,
Right.
but it went well. And at the end of the day, we closed the deal and we had a client. That was my first client I closed while being a salesperson at Binary City. And up until today, it's still something that remains with me. The fact that I was pushed into the water and I had to swim. And I've been swimming for more than 10 years.
The sales team is filled with high energy, but when you want to relax and unwind, what does Marsha Lee do?
Okay, so I'm not an outgoing person. I have 2 children and 2 dogs. So mostly to unwind, I would go home to them and then perhaps see if we can have a relaxing movie night. But that's not always realistic, especially from Monday to Thursdays, homework and whatnot. So to unwind, I spend time with the family, my children, my 2 dogs. Yeah.
Last question. For the young sales team out there that's trying to make their mark, what advice would you offer them?
Binary City has this notion of whatever a client wants, we can provide. So we work close together with each other in obtaining and assisting clients to really get what they need, to assist them, not just to close the deal, but to really assist them. You know, a lot of times you would think that sales is just let's make target, but that's not what we stand for or how we see it or how we perceive it. Yes, we all need to make money and get home and pay your bills and your responsibilities, but at the end of the day, you need to believe in what you sell to your client. You yourself need to be able to use what you sell. So always know your product, always think about, they always say customer is always right. They're not always right, but we always try our best to make them be right, to make them be okay.
Thank you so much, Marsha.
Thanks, Roland, for having me.
Pleasure.
That guy had better days. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. At the Securex 2024 at the Gallagher Convention Center, we're going to meet up with some of our hardware partners like ZK Teco and Hikvision. We're also going to meet up with the Binary City Joburg team, and we're going to interview Rayno Burger, the co-founder and CEO of Binary City. Here with the team at ZK Teco stand. It's so cool meeting up with the partners, our hardware partners, and checking out some of their cool stuff and some new innovation.
Let's take a drive to the Joburg office and have a sit down with Rayno Burger. Then we're going to catch up with the visionary developer behind BC Time. Rayno, we just got back from this year's Securex 2024 event. We saw some really incredible innovation and cool tech from our hardware partners and also others from the industry. How important is it for Binary City to keep up to date with such tech events?
It's very important. Look, Binary City's main focus has always been time and attendance. On that, we are great. We are leaders. We know exactly what we're doing there. On the rest of the tech that we do, the access control side, the CCTV side, that's an add-on service to us. And if we want to be competing, we have to keep up to everything that can be done there. And that's why visiting Securex this year has been amazing. It's been a very good Securex, actually. I just came from one of our suppliers. They just launched their experience center, and everyone I was talking to there came from Securex, and everyone is saying the same thing. It's one of the best Securexes that there has ever been, because we didn't have, this mustn't sound bad, but it didn't contain this small, every kind of, let's call it the pop-up shop kind of stands. It was really the big, the market leaders in the industry of access control and CCTV and those kind of systems, everything that comes with that. It was really impressive to see. So yeah, great. And yes, for us to come back here next year, that is definitely the plan. We're going to try and plan for that and see how we can do it. The how is still a little unclear, of course, but yeah, we want to find a way to make that work. Yeah.
We just reached 15 years. It's such an incredible milestone for us. And we just received news that we won the African Excellence Award for Best Time and Attendance and Access Control Solutions Company 2024. So much brilliant things are happening around us in Namibia, here in South Africa. I mean, there's just so much to be proud of. But what are you most proud of?
So for me, I can't answer this in a single way, because if I do that, I'll be unfair to someone. So I want to answer it in two ways. Firstly, for me, to say that Darius and I were able to create a company and create employment. It's incredible. It's a strange thing to say, I think, as a business owner, but employees are really the backbone of making a success of things. So for us, it has been a focus from the beginning when we employed people to be sure that they fit in the company and that they have the right attitude and everything that goes with it. This kind of no nonsense, we want to solve problems kind of attitude. And I'm very proud of the team we have. We were able to build an amazing team. It is something that every time I go for any form of a public place where I'm speaking on radio or whatever else, I always say it. And it's not something I'm programmed to do. It's something that it's really from my heart. Our team they are fantastic. So that's why, if a client calls me complaining about a problem or complimenting me, whichever way it goes, I can always go back and tell that to the person that actually did it, whether they messed up or whether they did great. And they will solve it or they'll take the compliment. It's, for me, being an employer is something that I am really proud of. It's incredible to have seen that happening. The other side is to have a vast amount of clients that trust us. It's something that came. Obviously, these things are you have to think about it when you start the business, but over time, it's something that you really become to appreciate. That People pay you for the solution that you provide, which obviously solves a problem for them, but that they keep trusting you to do that. And to me, it is a message that they stay with us, that our clients stay with us, and that they trust us. And I'm very proud of that. It's nice to be able to go out there and say, look, we are Binary City, and we created Binary City Time, and we have got such a vast amount of clients that just trust this system to do and solve this problem or the problems that we solve with the solution for them.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Yeah.
I've never experienced a company teaching its people about emotional intelligence. Rayno, you've been a strong advocate for emotional intelligence at the workplace. You and Darius ensured our team leaders understand this. How does this sort of training impact our team and service delivery to our clients?
I don't want to generalize, but people generally think that they know what's going on. They know what the next person is thinking. They know that if they say something, that they just think that the other person will experience it the same way that they are doing it. I feel that is never true. You have to be aware of the other person when you're communicating. And our business requires communication all the time, right from the sales part, from the marketing messages we do, to the support that we deliver. When we speak to our developer people are, they typically are not people. So they, it's also a different way of communicating with them. Then we've got our hardware team. That's also a different breed of people. We've really got just in the team, different people that we need to communicate to. And then the same story back to our clients. We have clients all over Africa. They speak differently. They have a different way of conveying a message. I mean, for some people, like for example, if you send a message to me and you just say, what's the status of this? I immediately think you're rude. For another person, that's completely fine. I mean, I didn't have to say hi, Rayno. And that is where this emotional intelligence story came into me. I wanted our management team at the very least to understand that people are different. You have to be aware of it and really take conscience of understanding the next person, so that when you're communicating, you can get your message there, and the client or the person that you're speaking to can get the message back to you. It's very important for me, and we want to put the whole team through that training process. So that's going to be the next step, as soon as we can get the right format to get that going.
In Namibia, and over the past 15 years, Binary City has become extremely well known for its BC time clocking solution. In South Africa, people are still getting to know us, even though some of our biggest clients are here in South Africa and have been with us for over a decade. What would you say to a South African decision maker inquiring about our BC time clocking solution? And could you tell us how Binary City supports the BC time business application in South Africa?
So, to a South African client, the thing is that Namibia is the small brother or sister of South Africa. It's almost the same country. We were the same country for a very long time. So the two countries are, with laws and the way we work and the kind of shops, everything is almost the same. So for a Namibian business to enter the South African market, it's almost the same as a Woolworths that you see in South Africa. That's anyways in Namibia. It's just the same thing. We are the same. We speak the same kind of language. We are the same kind of people. Our solution works great. It's very stable, and our support is out of this world. Because if you call our numbers, you will get to speak to a person almost instantly. Try that with the competition. And I promise you, it is just not the way it is. And our support staff they aren't just employed by the fact of somebody must have a job there or be answering the phone. They are trained to actually solve a problem. So when you call and want help, you'll speak to somebody almost instantly, and they'll look into that problem right away and solve it for you. So that's what I want to say to South African businesses. Give it a try and see how it goes, and you will stay. It's a guarantee. People that try us, they love the brand, they love us, they love the company, and they love the product. So that's what I would say to South African businesses. I would say just give it a try. It's very well priced, extremely well priced, and that makes it worth trying. The other thing is the way we price our product is pay as you go. So you pay every month for what you use. So again, if you don't like it, the risk is absolutely minimal. So if you don't like us, you could just stop paying us and go on. Obviously, we find that clients don't do that because they love the product and they also trust us to, in that way. So That would be my message to a South African business right now. And the way we support it, if I can just answer on that one, we've set up our business almost, on a legal entity point of view, it is separate businesses, the South African and the Namibian side, but the teams are completely the same teams. So we've got actual salespeople and support staff in South Africa and in Namibia, but when you call the business, whether you call on any of our numbers, that's there, we've got numbers that's registered all over the place. You can call any of them and you might speak to a person in Namibia or you might speak to a person in South Africa. So our support is, it's the same team all the time that you're working with, whether you are calling in South Africa or in Namibia. So that's how we do it. Yeah.
To the next generation of business leaders who want to make their mark in their industry, what advice can you offer them?
I always, I thought about this question a lot. The only way to make a success of something is, firstly, you as a person that's driving it, so you the entrepreneur, must have a lot of passion for what you want to do. And that could sometimes, maybe what you want to do is, I want to make clients happy. Maybe that's what you want to do. Then how are you going to make it? You find a problem they have and you solve it for them. But your passion has to be in that whole thing together. For us, it is really important that our product solves a problem, and that problem for us is it must save you money. If it doesn't save you money, it's not working. That is literally what we try to do there. And secondly, you must love what you're doing. You must have passion for what you're doing, because then you almost don't work. It's fun, If it's fun, then you can enjoy it. So for an entrepreneur looking to start a business, make sure that it's something you love, because entrepreneurship is really hard. It's harder than what people think before you go into it. There's a lot of things that you won't know that you'll learn as time goes on, and you must be able to, there must be something that you go back to the whole time, and that would be the passion. For me, passion, I really love people. So people bring me a lot of energy and people bring me a lot of joy. So this is both in our staff complement as well as on our client side. So for me, that's something I can always go back to and make sure. So, but I've spoken to entrepreneurs that are completely behind the scenes. You wouldn't see them at all. They would never be involved directly, even with staff that's maybe not on management level. It's going to depend on person to person. But as long as there's a passion somewhere, I mean, a lot of people would say, I want to make money. I say, if that's your plan, for me personally, yes, you will make money, but for that to be the driver, you've got to have a certain kind of brain for that to make sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I would say drive passion.
Rayno, thank you so much for spending some time with me, and thank you for making me also part of this journey.
Oh, you're very welcome, and thank you for your great work that you're doing.
100%.
Thank you so much.
He is the mastermind behind PC Time, steering its development from concept to a leading clocking solution in the industry. Meet the visionary COO and co-founder of Binary City, Darius Burger. Firstly, congratulations on leading Binary City and reaching 15 years. Darius, is it safe to say that you are the architect and visionary developer of BC Time, or is there more to the story?
All right, so first of all, thank you very much for for congratulating us on 15 years. I must say, it is really unreal to just think about it. I mean, we could have had a teenager by now, almost done with school, and what do? I have 2 children, so yeah. But yeah, so to answer your question, look, I am a strong believer of teamwork. It's definitely not a one-man show. I mean, that's important to first acknowledge. It is true that you do need I want to call it like a conductor that keeps everything together, listens to all the feedback, and that goes from, up from my brother to everyone that worked in support, that worked with clients, and also clients. Clients that would give us feedback and say, what about this, what about that? But you do need one person to keep it all together, almost like the director of a movie. So I guess I can take that credit, but I don't think I would have been able to do it by myself. So definitely team effort.
Over the past 15 years, you've developed BC Time to become one of the most powerful time and attendance and access control applications in Africa. Can you describe how it all began and any key milestones along BC Time's journey?
How much time do we have? Okay, look, just to keep it short, we first started with an application called Smart Time. And Smart Time was, let's call it, born because of a client's requirement. It was Arabush. You've all heard the story about what Arabush had a requirement. And we said, give us 2 weeks and we'll get something done and we'll have a solution in place. And we delivered on that promise. And then after we did that, we realized that it's a solution that we can sell to more clients. So then we started to license it and we started to sell it, or we started to sell that as a licensed package. Then we ran into a few limitations because we learned as we went, and then we decided to do the new version of our time and attendance, which we called Binary City Time. And for me, one of the milestones was that at that time, look, today, cloud-based applications and solutions are ubiquitous. It's everywhere, and we just accept it as the standard. But back in the day when we did BC Time, that was not the case. We look, don't quote me on this, but I would say that we were one of the first that were in the cloud, especially with security, and we were proud of that. And today, all of our competitors have caught up. But there was a time when we made the decision that we want to be cloud-based, and for me, that was a huge milestone because we achieved that, and I would always be proud of that because I feel we were the market leaders in that specifically.
Darius, if you could go back into time and give your younger self some advice, what would that advice be?
Yeah, I think that's a very, there's a lot of advice that I would give myself, but if I had to single out one thing, I was very hard on myself. Not only when we started our company, I was always hard on myself, but when we started Binary City, I took on this immense responsibility on myself, which was the right thing to do, but I didn't give myself any breaks. And I would go back and say, look, work hard and do what must be done, but don't overdo it. And there was a time when I really overdid it, and I can even get emotional about that just thinking about it, but obviously it paid off, and I think I've learned from that. But going back in time, I would tell myself, just don't be that hard on yourself. Take time for yourself as well, take some breaks, and that can also, it will be more positive than what you would think.
What advice would you offer young entrepreneurs looking to make their mark in their industry?
It's a good question. And I've thought about this question so often because you can imagine we are approached by friends and acquaintances and family members that want to know, is it a good idea to start? Or they would come to you with a concept and an idea and they would ask advice. And I mean, without being sarcastic, I would really implore them to think twice. It is not easy. We've all seen the movie about Mark Zuckerberg that became a billionaire overnight. It's movie stuff. It happens, but you can also win the lotto. You have to be in it for the long run, and I mean we're talking years. You're not even going to be making good money after 5 years. Anyway, guys, so not to be negative, I think there's a lot of positive to say about, or there's a lot for me, but I get a lot of satisfaction out of running our own company because I feel I am in control of a lot of processes and I'm in control of change. Because that's why we started Binary City, is to help clients. And yes, you want to make money. I mean, that's why you open up, or that's why you start a business. But we, both Rayno and I, set out to make a difference in information technology in Namibia. Now, we are not doing that per se anymore, but we are still trying to make a difference. And I hope people see that, our clients and so on, because we really care. And that's actually the advice that I want to give to anyone who is interested in being an entrepreneur is that if you just care about what you do, you are going to be ahead of your competition, because most of them are just in it for the money, and the first goal is to make money. So that means that you cut corners you would cut corners where you can just to save money, and that means that your clients or your consumers would be at a disadvantage. And yeah, so that's my best advice, is that just care about what you do, and going that extra mile, it makes a big difference. A lot of people do not. A lot of people do not go the extra mile, and that it tends to show.
When you're not coding and leading the charge here at Binary City, what do you do to unwind, and what's your go-to activity?
Right. So I have a family. We have our son is just over 3 years, and then the universe had some fun and gave us twins. We're very happy about it, but it was still a surprise, because you can imagine. But yeah, so between our family and, of course, that includes my wife, I like to spend time with them. My son is now at the age where he starts to be interactive. He's building Lego, and it is incredible to spend time with him and just be a part of that growing process. The children for me are like little sponges. Every day they do something new, and then I start to judge myself. Why don't I can learn so many more things, but yeah. In any case, with family is a good go-to for me. I really enjoy exercise. If it was not for exercise, Binary City, at least for what I was responsible for, would not exist. I did a lot of jogging, a lot of listening to music, and a lot of talking to yourself, and just that pep talk that you give yourself, like, look, don't give up, you can do this and that. Sounds tacky, but if you do it yourself, you will see. And then lastly, I absolutely love playing games. I used to be a big gamer when I was young, and surprise, surprise, I still do it. I absolutely love gaming. So for me, that's a go-to activity to my wife's whatever the word is. Not always happy about me playing games, but yeah.
That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. Darius, if you could write a bug-free code to solve any world problem, which problem would you choose and why?
Yeah, so first of all, bug-free code, wow, that would be that would be incredible in itself. But on a more serious note, I would, as fast as I can, eradicate racism from this earth. It is a concept that I simply do not understand. And yes, I understand that there's a lot of history around it, and I'm not saying that there was no wrong, but at its core, I feel racism is so wrong. We tend to judge each other on attributes that you were born with, and you can't change that. And for some other reason, we hold that against each other. And I don't like the word hate, but I cannot stand racism. It is so wrong, and I wish I could wipe that from the face of this earth.
Wow, that's truly inspiring, Darius. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and thank you for spending some time with me today. I really, really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rollins.
It's clear that the greatness of our solutions and services lies not in the wires or code, but in the hearts and minds of the people who make up this remarkable team. From visionary thinkers and innovators like Rayno and Darius to every team member who brings their passion and dedication to work every day. It's the people that transform Binary City from a company into a community, Behind our success, we are more than just a solution. We are more than just a team. We are family. We are Binary City, your #1 clocking masters.